We are absolutely swimming in data every single day. But when does all that noise actually start to sound like a message? Today, we're going to dig into that fascinating line where random patterns start to feel intentional and, more importantly, what our role is as humans in this new AI-driven world.
And this quote, it really gets to the heart of what we're talking about. I mean, think about it for a second. A few random dots on a page, well, that's just noise. But if you start arranging those dots in a specific, repeating way, suddenly your brain clicks. It sees a shape, a pattern, a purpose. The noise starts to feel like a message.
And that's the real million-dollar question, isn't it? Who gets to make that call? Is it the machine that's so good at finding the pattern? Or is it us, the humans, who look at it and go, aha, that one, that's the one that matters? That's the big puzzle we're going to try and piece together today.
Okay, so to get to that answer, we first have to understand what AI is amazing at and, what its biggest blind spot is. It all really comes down to what we can call the AI pattern problem.
Let's just be super clear about one thing. AI models are unbelievable pattern-finding machines. They can sift through absolute mountains of data and spot correlations, repetitions, and structures that a human brain just could never see. They can do it all day, all night, and they never get tired. But here's the catch. Just finding a pattern, that's not the same as understanding it. Not even close.
And this is where you can really see that split in the workload. AI handles what you might call the easy part, detecting patterns over and over again. But all the really critical, value-adding work, well, that's the hard part, and that falls right on our shoulders as humans, deciding which patterns actually matter, giving them real-world context, making sure they're even correct. That's where the real meaning is created.
So let's break down that hard part a little more. Why are these jobs so uniquely human? And why are they so absolutely crucial for turning all those raw patterns into knowledge we can actually trust and use? Okay, this hard part involves a bunch of things that really only humans can do. It all starts with deciding what matters, filtering that one important signal from the endless noise an AI can generate. Then we have to add context, the why behind the data, something a model just can't get. After that, we have to verify correctness, and not just once, but over and over again. Then, and this is so important, we have to preserve attribution. Knowing who did what is fundamental for building trust. And finally, you have to coordinate people, because without that, the whole system just descends into spam and chaos. This is messy, complicated, and absolutely essential work. It's human work.
So if the hard part is really all about human judgment and working together, how in the world do you build a system to manage all of that? Well, this brings us to an idea for a solution, one that tries to shape all this meaning in a really structured way.
And that idea is a concept called Codata. The core mission here is to create a structured environment where all that messy human stuff, the shaping, the verifying, the contextualizing, can actually happen out in the open, in a transparent and organized way. So how does it work? Well, it breaks down into a few key steps. First, humans actively shape the raw patterns that the AI finds. Then, the community jumps in to verify that information is legit. Next, they contextualize it, adding all that important nuance and outside knowledge. And finally, putting this whole process on-chain basically creates a permanent, transparent, and public record, so you can actually trust the result. It's all about making the creation of meaning a collaborative and open process. Okay, so this all leads us to the final and maybe the most important takeaway from all of this. After all this talk about patterns and AI and systems, what's the big idea we should leave with? See, the real breakthrough here, the big insight, it isn't just about finding a better pattern or a stronger signal in all the noise. It actually goes a level deeper. So the thing that really matters, it isn't the pattern itself, it's the human process that gives it meaning. Who gets to decide what it all means? How do we credit them for their work? How do we check that work? And how do we build on top of it later? That is where the real value gets created. It's all about human agency. And that leaves us with this big question to chew on. We've established that AI is amazing at finding patterns, but it's us, it's humans, who create meaning. So the real challenge for all of us moving forward, it isn't just about building smarter AI, it's about designing smarter systems that allow us to work together, to shape all that data into something like wisdom, and to build a shared understanding of our world.